सोच रहे
Should I sit there?
Okay. So this is like working in the background.
Yeah.
Ah! Okay. Sorry, Anam's entire life is moving. She's moving him. Satya. Dating tips with Satya. Okay. सब निकाल दे बस हो गया अब सब कंपनीज है पीछे If anyone's watching, I apologize. We're just setting up for the video. So excited to talk to you today. Can I publish this? I'm publishing it.
Yes, post it.
Posting.
Good work. Absolutely. Thank you so much for
No views. Bye. It's delayed.
What is this?
It's delayed.
Abhi, open the sheet. Abhi and I will.
Cool. Okay, guys, if anyone's watching this, I'm just fixing my hair so that I can look nice for you. I'm live. We're a few minutes early. So I'm just going to, you guys are going to be drinking water. I'm just preparing. So this week with Woo, our wonderful partner for this series on basically how to find somebody and make relationships last, has been pretty exciting. We're talking about how to meet somebody. And I think some of the coolest questions that we've gotten this week are about making connections and talking, how can you actually build a relationship with somebody once you've met somebody? Because most of us find ourselves in positions where we've around people, right? And we get to meet them maybe in college or in school or at work, or even somebody that we know through our families. But it's much, much harder to figure out how to make a good connection to them. So I'm going to be talking about your questions and your comments and everything in comments below. Okay, so you guys are watching this live on Shiro's. I have my headphones in so that I can concentrate and talk to you, even though there'll be people walking back and forth. You're in the Shiro's office. That is Kushbu, who works on our sales team. And we'll be ready to go in a few minutes. In the meantime, if you have anything that you want me to talk about, any special thing that you want me to talk about, just leave your information in the comments below. I am reading them. I am ready for you guys. I'm super excited to talk to you about this. We're talking about how to find love, how to find it. Where is it? Where does it come from? What if you meet somebody cute? And then what do you do with that person? All of those great and wonderful questions for you. We're going to be answering today. So I see 2 of you have joined. Hello, whoever you are in video land who have joined today. If you like what you're seeing, if you are excited about this, please like this post, put a heart there so I know that you're watching. I can really use all of your encouragement because I love you guys. And it's been such a pleasure to get to know you in the communities. So we're ready to go in about 5 minutes. And in the meantime, I will just make sure that we're set up. So I am going to be reading your questions this way. I have my phone so I can see all of your questions, and the wonderful team here at Cheers is going to be helping me with all of the questions, just so that I don't miss any of your questions, because I think your questions are the most important things, right? So I'm looking forward to your likes, feeling kind of shy. I always sing when I get on these videos with you guys. So drop me a like, make a comment, let me know that you're watching, just so that I know what is happening in your world. First of all, how is everybody? Are you having a good week? It's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. I know that everyone's looking forward to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I hope that you're having good things happening in your life and that your energy is up, because that's really important. when we're talking about finding love in our lives, to keep your own energy up and to keep yourself energetic, to keep yourself lively, because that is the basis for attraction. And attraction is everything. Everything. It is everything. You can not only attract people into your life, but you can also attract things. But that's a different discussion that we're going to have. So just a few more minutes to go until we officially kick this off. I am so excited to talk to you guys. You have no idea, absolutely no idea how excited I am. That's Lata Di. She makes the best tea in the world. She is one of our amazing people that I get to work with in the office every day. Super, super excited to be here with you guys so you can actually see all the stuff that we do. I have my copper water bottle. Staying hydrated for you guys. It's hot in Delhi. It is about 44 degrees. Oh, I see your like. Thank you, Avantika. So nice, Avantika. You are goals. I really love all your comments in the communities, and I hope that you're doing well this week, my dear. Hope that everything is going well on your end, and everything's doing well.
What happened?
What? Nothing happened.
You sing it again?
No, I didn't do anything. What did you? I'm live. Something is happening as a technical
It
glitch.
is pushing the notification.
Okay, cool. So all of you guys that are not on here now may have come because you got a notification in the Shiro's app. So hoping that more of you guys will join soon. Please like this post if you're watching me. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the comment box. So today we're talking about how to meet people for dating and love, which includes the places and also the mechanics, right? So sometimes we put ourselves into positions where we can meet lots of people and people are around us. There's like a girl there, but we don't necessarily know how to connect. And so we also want to talk today about connecting. We want to talk about the nature and the mechanics of connection. We want to talk about what we can do on our ends as people who are seeking love in the world to make this connection stronger, right? Sometimes you can connect, but then they fizzle out. Or you guys are having conversation, the conversation's not good, the quality is not good. So, this is really all about how to create deep and long-lasting connections with people that you're meeting, where to find the types of people that you want, that you want in your life, and really identifying what's important to you, right? Now, I know there's a lot of women in our community who are getting over people, have broken up with people, dealing with all kinds of stuff, including like heartbreak and stuff. So for you girls also, I'm sending you a big hug because I know it's not easy to get by when that stuff is happening in your life. And this is also for you. So maybe you don't feel like you're ready to find love yet. Hi guys, I see you. I have there's a couple of viewers here. So hi to all of you. If you're joining us today and you're watching us on Shiro's, make sure you press the little heart so that I know that you're there because I can use all your good energy in my life. And if you have any questions about how to meet somebody, how to make a stronger connection with somebody, let me know. I'm going to make myself comfortable because we're about to kick off. So let me introduce myself. I'm going to keep introducing myself and I'm just going to keep talking about stuff that I know so that I'm going to share some gyan with you. Hi, Arpita. It's so good to see you. How are you, darling? Good to see that smile. Good to see your energy in this class. So, guys, Arpita is also a fantastic coach. She's based in Pune. She works a lot with our own internal energy, something that I also believe in because all of us have incredible amounts of power within us, but sometimes we don't know how to use that, especially when we love, we're looking for love. We don't necessarily know what to do. So making sure I have my questions straightforward for you guys so that I can see all of your questions right here on my phone. And I'm just going to keep talking at you. And I'm also watching this thread on Shiro's just to make sure that I can see if all of you are joining us. Hello to everyone that's joining. We are here with Woo. This is our live masterclass on how to meet someone to date, for dating and for love. What are all the ways that we can meet people? What are the places that we can meet people? And how do we build stronger connections? So this is not only for those ladies out there that are looking for love, but maybe you're in a relationship and you need to build a stronger connection with your honey, right? So we'll talk about all of those things. You guys can ask me questions. That's Supriya, who is one of the best women that I know on Shiro. Say hi, Supu. Supu's on our team that interfaces with lots of different companies across India. So she's a fantastic woman and an amazing person. So I'll keep introducing you to guys in the office because it's important for you guys to know the Shiro's family while we're having all these discussions. So the first thing I want to talk about with you guys is about, some of the mechanics of how to meet somebody is about changing the way that you present yourself to the world. Okay, so we walk the same roads every single day. We go to the same offices, we go to the same colleges. We're always putting ourselves in similar situations, but we don't often think about how we can make ourselves more attractive and more appealing to the types of people that we're trying to connect to, right? So some of the first things that I want to talk to you about is how can you feel super, super amazing when you're putting yourself out there in the world? And these are a few strategies that I want to talk about because a lot of the how to meet somebody is really about preparing yourself and making yourself be the best version of you. So I'm going to give you guys an example. Okay, do you see these little fringes, these bangs, as we call them in the US? Because clearly you can see that I have an American accent. So I am Gujarati American, born and raised in the US, but now I live in India. So this was a conscious decision that I made that I am going to change the way that I look so that I feel better about myself because I was feeling like an auntie, like my hair was nice, there's some highlights or something going on, but I wanted to present myself in a different manner. I wanted to present myself to the world as somebody who's energetic, who's fun, who likes to experiment, and who always has new ideas. Now, that's the type of person that I would like to invite into my life, right? So if you ask me about my ideal guy or my ideal partner, it doesn't have to be a guy. Some of us are into the whole spectrum. So we'll be open. If you ask me about my ideal partner, I would tell you that I want somebody who's energetic, who's fun, who laughs a lot, who's really creative. Now, I can't attract that type of person into my life if I look like I'm really boring or if I act really boring. So let's say that, you guys are watching me right now, right? So hi guys, I see all of you out there in video land. You guys are watching me, and it may be the first time that you're experiencing me as a person, right? So you're somebody that I see in the office, you're somebody that I see in the hallway, you're somebody that I see in my society, maybe my favorite restaurant or coffee shop, and your experience of me is not exciting. You're not attracted to me because I'm not putting a very good energy out there. So I want you to think about what is the type of energy that you bring into the room. It doesn't mean that you have to be crazy like me, like woo, and very excited about things. But it does mean that you have to be conscious of the type of person that you are and conscious of the way you carry yourself, conscious of the way what you look like also projects to the world. It's not all about looks, okay? But I want you to be aware. Like if you're not making so much of an effort to put yourself in the best mood possible or look in the best way that you can. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be traditionally beautiful in any way, right? You can be unique in your own way. You can have your own energy. You can be your own person, but you should know what that means. Then some of the how of meeting people automatically gets sorted because you are going to be presenting yourself in the best way, right? So think about what is the best version of you. And how can I make that best version of me come out when I'm putting myself in a space like this space? I work in an office, so I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a lot of dudes in this office. That whole section right there is all dudes. That's Pranjal. Pranjal's like the tallest guy in the office. He's pretty cute. He's going to kill me if he hears me say this. But if I was somebody who was looking for a relationship, I might want to make sure that I'm in the best form for all of the people that surround me every day. So I hope that was helpful. Some of the how is, how can you be your best you? Because if you're your best you, it doesn't matter where you put yourself, people are going to be attracted to you. So I want to put that out there first. So if you like that, give me, please like the video, talk back to me in the comments. And I'm seeing some of your questions now. All right. Okay. So I got my first couple of questions. So how to know that he is someone special? That's a fantastic question. So I don't know who asked this question. Guys, if you're sending me questions, it'd be really great if you could tell me the name of the person just so I could let them know. So if this is your question, let me know, keep talking to me, and I'll try to go a little bit deeper. So when you meet somebody, your internal information system will give you lots of information. So imagine that like you're like a little alien and you have these little antennae on your head, right? And these antennae give you all types of information. Now for women, that place is right here. I'm going to stand up so that I can show you. This is where we get information, right here. In my somewhat round tummy. So we get our information from there. There's lots of things that we feel immediately when we meet somebody. And it's not always about those little butterflies, right? Those little feelings that we get when we meet somebody. A lot of times it's really about some little voice that we have in the back of our minds. So I want you to pay attention to when you're meeting somebody, what does that part of your tummy say? This part, okay? Do you feel good around them? Is your energy high? Do you feel heavy around them? And are you guys connecting, right? So it's a person that's special and that's going to be special in your life. You're going to feel some connection with them. And that could be because you are talking to them and you guys are sharing ideas and you're discussing things that are important to you. It could also be because their energy and the type of person that they are makes you feel like a better version of yourself, right? So these are the feelings that you want to have when you're meeting somebody new. You want to feel calm. You want to feel maybe slightly excited. You don't want to feel crazy, right? Like, you don't want to feel that because that's actually a bad sign, okay? So I can talk about this later. Ask me more questions if this is your question, okay? You want to feel like something fits. You want to feel a little bit excited, but not, you want to be like, ooh, but not like, right? Okay. Somebody shouldn't be causing you to lose sleep. They should be making you interested. And that in and of itself is an indication that that person is somebody special. Also for me, I have certain rules about the type of person that I want to have in my life. And some of those rules are that person should be respectful. The way that they treat people around them should be good. It should be caring. So for example, how any person who I'm considering to date treats like waiters, air hostesses, people that do the normal work that helps our lives move along in an easy way. That is a really big indication to me of what that person is going to be in my life. Do they deserve to be in my life? Because they have to be able to treat everybody with respect. And how they treat that person, that person that's refilling their glass of water, that person that's giving them, like doing a small service for them, is probably how they're going to treat me when they're not so happy with me, right? On those days when we get up in the morning and you're looking at your partner and you're like, okay, I love you, but I'm not feeling so much in love with you right now. Maybe you had a fight, maybe something's difficult. You have to go back and know that those times that they're treating somebody that they don't know very well are going to be how they treat you. So these are some things to think about as in terms of how do you know that somebody is special? And always keep checking in with yourself. What is your gut saying? That part in your tummy, what is it saying? What is your body telling you? Reflect on that person after you leave them, after you talk to them. Do you feel better? Do you feel worse? Do you feel excited? Do you feel bored? All of these things will give you an indication. Your own feelings, your own little information systems, right, will tell you so much information. And the other big indicator of this is time. Okay, sometimes we don't get to know what role a person's going to play in our life because it just takes a little bit of time for that to become apparent. And so be really comfortable with a long tail, right? Be comfortable with things taking their own time, with the pace being slow, medium, fast. It may not be your pace, but it is the pace of that person, and we have to respect that. So I hope that answered your question. Give me a heart. Let me know that you like that. Talk back to me in the comments if you have any more questions. I'm happy to answer them. So the next question is, how do I deal with a long-distance relationship? So that's a fantastic question. How many of us are in long-distance relationships? Okay, I'm in a long-distance relationship. I've been in many long distance relationships, and I know a lot of sheroes out there are also in long distance relationships. And so this is a multifaceted question. You're asking how to deal with a long distance relationship. Couple of things I want to say to you. One is have an end date in mind. A long distance relationship can't be long distance forever. It's not going to work. Okay. The second thing is connection means different things to different people. And within the context of a long distance relationship, one of the ways to build that connection is to treat your partner as if they were here. So some of the things that I've seen that work really well is lots of video chatting, making sure you see each other's face, because the emotional comes from the face, right? You guys see my cheeks? How many emotions can you see and feelings can you see in my cheeks right now, right? You can see a lot. Like, you know what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, how my mood is from my face. So that's important. It's important to get that contact. So let me know if you agree with that. The second thing is the best long distance relationships have a lot of planned activities together. So that could mean that you guys decide to video call and you have a meal together. So you share time together eating a meal, even though if you're in different time zones. Maybe your partner's having a snack and you're having your dinner, right? Or they're having their morning coffee, you're having a morning coffee or chai, and they're having their dinner. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. So sharing meals together, going on mutual dates together. So maybe you guys can share your screens together. Like, you know, we're watching a video now, right? So put on a movie, share your screen, watch the movie with your partner, do those things together that you would do on a date. And the best thing is staying away from a lot of this. Okay? Okay, I have to move now. I'm going to walk with you and I'm going to talk with you because I think it's probably too loud for everyone. So you're going to get a view and a tour of the office. Say hi. See, I told you there's lots of cute boys in the office. Say hi to all the cute boys. I'm here. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here now. Oh, and I'm going to sit next to the future is female. The future is female. Okay. All right, guys. So the future is female, and that's why I'm jabbering at you right now. So that's a deal with long distance relationships. You need to make it as if that person is there and actually do planned activities with them. Do not rely on texting, WhatsApping, because there's so much room for misinformation. Oh, you were seeing Tushar's face. Should I go into this little... Okay. My handlers are here. I feel like a celebrity. They're like, you need to move. So do not over-rely on things like on WhatsApping and texting, although I know that's the easiest way for us to talk to people. And I'll tell you why. Because so much of the emotion of our communication gets lost when we're texting. If we're having a bad day, we're feeling sad, we're feeling upset, we can misinterpret what our partner says. So you can save and preserve your real quality time for those times when you're video chatting with each other, those times when you're on the phone with each other, because ultimately you're going to need to connect. And sometimes a lot of the connection is lost in texting. The thing I would tell you is you need to have a life. Okay, so you were in a long distance relationship and you miss your boo boo kitty, you miss him so much, you miss her. So that person can't be everything. You need to go out into the world, you need to do things, you need to find hobbies, you need to find a support system that's right there in the place where you are, because that's going to make you exude more of it and have that positive energy, so that even from miles and kilometers away, like all the way over there, pointing over there, even from miles and kilometers away, your mood, and they're going to be much more attracted to you when they know that you're happy, no matter what's going on in their life. So keep these things in mind. This is what I have to do with my partner, right? So I had to ask my partner, he lives in Bombay. Hi, baby. Are you watching? Mwah, love you. I had to ask him for a video call today because I missed him. I wasn't able to see him for a while. Some of the things you can try in your... Here's a fantastic question. This is a great question. I don't know who asked this. How do I get to know what the other partner doesn't share by himself? So, so don't think that I don't love you. Don't worry about what your partner is thinking. Worry about what your partner is doing. Okay? Now, your partner's words that come out of their mouth and your partner's actions need to match. In terms of what your partner to know what they're thinking is to ask. Now, if they're unwilling to share with you, then that's okay. Not everyone is willing to share. Your only job is to make sure that their actions and their words match, right? So if somebody is saying, baby, I love you, can't live without you, want to be with you whole life, and that person is not calling you, they're not showing up, they're canceling dates with you, they're not doing things that indicate that they want to spend time with you, then that person's probably not the right person for you, because the words and the actions don't match, right? You are really worried about what that person's thinking because you're probably feeling insecure. And being insecure is the worst thing that you can feel in a relationship, because insecurity kills love. So go out there and get a support system. Stop asking. When somebody feels safe enough to share with you, when you're not pressuring them, they'll share with you. And see if you can, in the meantime, find alternate ways to make yourself feel comfortable, right? And just make sure that what your partner's doing, what your honey is doing and what they're saying match. As to what they're thinking, we may never know. You can always ask them, but if they don't want to share, then you have to take the pressure off. That means they're not comfortable. And that's it, right? Hopefully this will help you. Once I learned this trick, I learned that the best way to get somebody to step up to share more is to create space, to create silence, to create opportunities for them to just be themselves and not feel the pressure to always explain everything to us. When people that we love feel like they can just be, and they don't have to explain every single thing that they do, oftentimes they'll tell us the things that we want them to share by themselves. We don't even have to ask them. So I hope that helps. Here's our next question. So I hope that answered your question. You guys keep talking to me if I didn't answer your question, and I'll clarify more. Okay, that's a fantastic question. My biggest question is, how do I get to know my own self? I love you for asking this. It's sometimes hard to know what I want from a relationship. I am into it when everything is going well, but what next? Will everything be all right always, or am I thinking too much? No, everything's not going to be all right always, girl. I'm stable. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm back. All right. So when you can ask people that, and people get to know, people tell you, probably some of those things are going to be the same. You can trust them, right? And then you can ask yourself, is what they're saying true? Is what they're saying false? And there's some things that we know about ourselves, right? You know that in a situation, if a scary animal comes in front of you, what are you going to do? Are you going to fight with the animal? Are you going to run away from the animal? Are you going to talk softly to the animal and make it your friend? Are you going to eat the animal? You know in certain situations what you would do because you have life experience. Live in the here and now. Be here now. And be the best version of yourself that you can. Because when you're fully present in your relationship, right? I'll give you an example. Do you know what it feels like when somebody's really listening to you? Like really listening. Really, really listening. You're sharing something bad that happened in the day, and you're feeling really upset. And you're talking, and is like on their phone. Oh, okay, fit. So you never get that satisfaction of feeling like that person's really there for you. But when somebody is really paying attention to you and really listening to you, then you know what that feels like. So living in the present moment, being aware of everything around you, right? I'm here talking to you guys. My job is to focus on you guys and to give you as much love as possible in the next hour, right? In the next 40 minutes, we're going to talk about everything. So beyond that, I shouldn't be distracted. I see Yashmita walking past me. I see our amazing tech team coding new things for Shiras for you. I see our CEO, Sairi, having a really intense discussion. But my only job is to be here with you. And how does that feel, right? When somebody's just here with you, and when you're just there with yourself, and when you can just be in that moment, it is the best feeling in the world. So that's all you have to do. Don't overthink it. Be in the present at every single moment with that person. Don't think too much about what's going on in the future. Those questions will answer themselves. And if it's not right, you'll also feel it. So also trust that. But I'm sending you a lot of love because I feel like you're feeling very anxious. So here's some love from me to you. Be calm, trust yourself, and just be there. And when you can give somebody the gift of your presence like that, it's the best thing that you can give, right? Attention is the biggest thing that we can give somebody. So Tutul is asking a question actually on YouTube. Tutul, what to do in the first date? Tutul, There are lots of things that you can do on the first date, because you do something that creates a shared experience. Okay, so you want to do something that's interactive, that gets you guys talking, that allows you to share thoughts with each other, get to know one another. Usually things that are active are really good, like, you know, maybe you can go play a sport, play a game, go explore something. There's things like escape rooms, there's city walks, and then the usual, a nice dinner, a coffee, something where you can connect. Food is always good to connect over. These are good things to do in the first date. If you know a little bit about the person, then that can also be, you know, a good way. Like, let's say you know somebody really likes music and they like a certain type of band, or they like certain types of classical Indian music, then maybe you can go to a concert, right, and enjoy that together. But you want to make sure that you get time to interact, right? Going to a movie and sitting in a dark theater for 3 hours, probably not the best first date, because you're not talking a lot, right? So that's some tips from me to you. More questions from you guys. I'm talking a lot. How's everyone out there? How are you guys? Send me some love. Write some stuff in the comments for me. Is this making sense? Is this helping you? What are you feeling? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I want to hear back from you guys. Getting all of the questions that you are asking, right? My partner doesn't come for shopping with me. How do I'm not with him for his money, and this is a good way to bond? First of all, ask your partner for shopping with you. Do they not like shopping? Do they face money problems? If they're unwilling to share, or if they're really resistant, then you don't force them, right? Some activities you'll have together as a couple. Like, you guys have to figure out what you do well together. And you also have to figure out what needs to be your own thing. Trying to convince somebody too much is probably not a good idea. The biggest secret I can tell you about building a relationship with somebody is that most people just want to be. They just want to be left alone, right? And finding moments to be together where you can enjoy doing something together, that's important. But if somebody doesn't really like something, maybe they'll come with you every once in a while, but maybe not always. So get to the bottom of it. Find out what the deal is about shopping. And you're saying convince him I'm not with him for his money. If you feel like that's what he feels, then that's a larger conversation than just shopping, sweetheart. That's a conversation about what the values of a relationship are and how you can make that stronger, because ultimately it seems like there might be a lack of trust. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, next question. How do I develop the bond between other family members? I feel like everyone takes me for granted. I'm the only earning person in the family. They don't really love me. However, there's also a feeling that I might be thinking wrong. Girl, you confused. This is insecurity, and I think you should think positively always. Maybe they do need the money. You're the only earning person. It's very obvious that you're running the house. Okay, we can accept that, right? You don't have to think badly in that way, but people are only, the best way to get what you want is to give it, right? So if you want to build a closer bond with people, you have to be the person to try to build that closer bond. You have to ask them how they're doing. You have to be interested in their life. You have to put yourself out. You can't expect everything to come from other people. And insofar as you're the only earning person, if that's a struggle for your family, then maybe that's a question you need to ask to your family. Is that like, look, I'm doing this and I'm earning, but is this going to be enough for us? And that's a family discussion to have all together openly, right? So if you keep all this stuff inside, you're just going to get resentful. And resentment is a really heavy emotion that doesn't feel good. It doesn't help us to create love. So you've got to assume that your family loves you, and assume that you're providing, you're being so valued and so loved, not only because you make money, because I'll have some discussions with them all together as adults. Like, I'm earning now, but it seems like the family needs some more resources. What can we do together, right? Because it's about you. You guys are a team. So these are some good things to think about. The worst thing you can do is stay inside your head. You have to deal with that thinking. That's a thinking problem on your end, not on your family's end. I hope that makes sense. And I love you. So don't think that I'm being too tough on you. I'm just giving you that tough love because I think it's required here. Okay? All right. It's very difficult for me to trust anyone. How do I know if somebody is trustworthy and I can take a chance? Where are your trust issues coming from? You have to take a chance whether you trust somebody or not. Life is about chances. So every single day we're taking chances, right? Just walking, getting up and walking, we're taking a chance. We're trusting that the floor beneath us is going to be there to support our weight, right? We're trusting that our clothes are not going to automatically fall off by putting on this kurti. So the building blocks of trust are not big things. The building blocks of trust are really, really small things. They are things like somebody remembering your name, somebody remembering your birthday, somebody offering you your favorite type of chai, like maybe chini kam or only doodh. So these are small, small things. In order to see if you can trust somebody, you have to look at these small, small things and say, is there a pattern here? And then you give a little bit more. Then you share a little bit more. I'm not saying that you should fully, openly trust everyone from the beginning, not even if they say that they love you. But what I am saying is that you have to take a chance somewhere, right? So what you tell yourself is that you're better for having taken this chance, right? And you may get hurt in the process. Love is just as much about connection and feeling amazing and being close to somebody as it is about that person having the access to hurt you. And sometimes it's a balance. The people that we love the most have the most access to hurt us. But convince yourself that no matter what, you're going to be okay. Because you are. No matter what, you're going to bounce back, whether you get hurt or whether you love. So it's so important just to trust yourself and to know that you'll survive and everything will be a lesson for you and you'll get over it. Okay, so I know that it sounds like you might have been hurt a lot in the past. And when that happens, and when you experience like a trust issue where somebody has betrayed your trust, or you really love somebody and they treated you badly, you have to give yourself time to heal and you have to let that trust build up slowly. But I think somewhere in there, you're blaming yourself. Okay, so don't blame yourself. Everybody makes mistakes. Sometimes you trust the wrong people. It's okay. You'll get back, you'll bounce back, and you will love again. You will make more connections. You will be okay. Just have that faith in yourself, okay? Remember those small, small things that build trust. Okay? What about people who treat you well but lose it on others and that troubles you? Okay. Somebody treats you well but they don't treat other people well. I'm going to say something slightly controversial. They're not going to treat you well forever. As soon as you fall out of favor or something bad happens, they may not treat you in the same way. So use how they treat others as an indication of eventually how they'll treat you. Bus. And if you're comfortable with that, then you can stay. But if you're not comfortable with how they treat other people, then that is a big, big, big red flag for a very, very unhealthy and potentially abusive relationship. So, and this is because I have a background as a counselor in abuse. So I want you to be really careful and I want you to keep watching it, bring it up to them. And if they don't change, then it's something to be, something to be considered. We are only how we treat people, right? As human beings, the only worth that we have, how we make other people feel. It's not the money we make. It's not the job that we have. None of that goes with us when we die. The only thing that goes with us when we die is how we made other people feel. If that person makes you feel amazing but makes everyone else feel like crap, something's wrong. It means that they don't have the basic respect for humanity. And love is about everything. I can't just love you and hate everything else around me. Something's wrong. So look at it. Fantastic question. If you can ask 5 questions to get to know someone, what would they be? So the first question I always ask people is your heart sing. What is something that you are so passionate about, so interested in, that you are like buzzing with excitement and energy? That's the first thing I ask. The second question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? The third question is, what's your love language? So if you guys don't know about love languages, there's 5 different love languages, and they are words of affirmation, okay? Which means that the way that you show and you give love is by telling somebody that you love them, or by somebody telling you that they love you, or telling you nice things about yourself. The second is acts of service. I do something for you. I get you a glass of water. I fix your computer. I put petrol in your car. Moms sometimes have a love language of acts of service because they make us food, they clean our room, right? So you guys know what that means. The third love language is quality time, and that's just spending time. Doesn't mean that I have to do anything for you. I could just be sitting with you. We could just be hanging out. We don't have to do anything, but it's about you and me connecting, right? The fourth love language is, it's words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, is gifts. So I like you, I'm going to give you this perfume, right? Or I like you, I'm going to take you on a vacation. My dad was always like that. Like, he would always bring me something really small when I was little. And the fifth love language is touch, physical touch. And that could be anything from hand holding. How beautiful does it feel when someone's holding your hand? Hand holding, to cuddling, to intimacy, like physical intimacy, like sex or kissing or something like that. It's that whole range. So those are the 5 love languages. So I would definitely ask that question, how do you give and express love? The last question I think I would ask would be, there's so many questions, right? What's the last good book that you read? What's a book that you couldn't put down? Or what book are you reading right now? Because getting to know what types of information people consume and, what they're filling their minds with is a really good way to get to know them. Same as if you could ask them about what music they're listening to or basically, what do they think of different things that are going on in the world? These are great questions. Now, I want to give you a tip. There is this New York Times article, and it's called the 30 Questions to Love. And they're actually 30 questions that they have scientific two people fall in love with each other. So if you want to ask amazing questions, ask these questions because they're really deep. And there's also a app that you can get called Card Decks, CARDDECKS. And it's by the Gottman Institute. And the Gottman Institute is the foremost research organization on love and relationships and intimacy. And there's fantastic questions to ask your partner. I think they call them questions for connections. I have the app on my phone. Okay, so Rupal's asking a question. Hi, Rupal. Arpita, thanks. I saw your comment. Thank you so much for being here. You have to be the best version of you, like I was saying earlier. Rupal's asking, ma'am, how to know someone's nature in phone calling? Rupal, it takes a long time. You can only really know somebody's true nature when you're meeting face to face. Phone calls are great, and you can even fall in love with somebody over phone calls. Remember, like a long time ago, during our parents' generations, people were falling in love over writing letters. But the true test of that is to meet face to face. So what I would say is, definitely talk on the phone. But if you have an opportunity to video call, if you have an opportunity to meet later, then try to do that. Don't stay on the phone too much. All right, guys, I need a water break. Talking so much. I'm so glad I had some coffee. Okay. So Rupal, I hope that answered your question. Okay, so try to meet this person because you need to know their nature face to face. People are totally different on the phone. Maybe somebody sounds like really sexy and stuff, but like you meet them and they're like not what you're attracted to. So then you would build in your mind what this person is like, but actually when you meet them, they're totally different. You need to feel that person's energy face to face. So the next question is, I have an interreligious relationship. How do I convince my parents? Seems like there is no option. Please help. Okay. So firstly, it's really important to know what the objections of your parents are. Okay, because sometimes parents have a lot of misunderstandings about what other religions' life is like. I would tell you to try to find an elder in your family that can talk to your parents with you, right? So you need an advocate on your side to be able to do this. I would also encourage you to introduce your person to your parents. If possible, let them meet your partner so that they're very comfortable and get to know them as a person. You're welcome, Ruth. Love you. Sending you a hug and a kiss. And to my friend that has the interreligious relationship, at the end of the day, if your parents are not convinced, you have options, right? You can be together, but it may take your parents some time to come around. Maybe they're not going to be super comfortable for a while. But most parents, once they see their children are happy, they're okay. So I want to know, guys, if with the interreligious relationship, are you guys talking about marriage? Are you talking about a long-term relationship? What stage you're at? So feel free to write in the comments. I can give you more relationship. Okay, so here's the next question. I have a difficult relationship with my better half. When we fight badly, and the next day we are fine. When we fight, we think that it's the end of the world, and I'm not going to talk to him ever again. But everything's normal the next day. How do I fight with him so badly and keep that respect between us intact? There are skills to learn how to fight. Okay, so and some of these skills are dialoguing methods and a bit complicated. You guys can also do this with a couples counselor. So couples counselor can teach you some really good ways to fight healthily. Some of the best advice that if you're having a horrible fight, get into the shower together with all of your clothes on. And if after 2 minutes, you are still fighting, then the fight is significant. But if when you're in the shower getting completely wet with all of your clothes on, your fight doesn't seem so important anymore and you just want to get out of the shower, then you know that you're fighting about something stupid. Okay? So some of it is deciding what is it important to fight on and what's important not to fight on. Secondly, you can work with a counselor to get some great fighting tips and how to. For me is, if I start to feel angry, I express myself, but I never express myself when I'm so angry that I'm going to say something that I regret. I wait a few minutes and I cool down. And even if we've said something that's really mean or something, I walk away and I said, let's talk later once we're calmed down. And then we come back in about 10 or 15 minutes and we have the conversation. The other rule is never go to bed angry, right? So don't let something fester. Now, the beautiful thing is if you guys are fighting and if everything's better the next day, then it's okay. That means that that's your pattern. You know that everything will be fine the next day. So just trust the pattern. Trust that you're going to fight. It's going to be bad. You have to be able to apologize to each other and the next day you'll be okay. Right? That's who you are as a couple. That's your couple DNA. So I have a question from Ritu. How to tackle a person who feels he is perfect and the fault is always on the other side, never considers my opinion, does not listen to my feelings. I feel low in confidence due to this. Girl, this is not a healthy relationship, Ritu. Not healthy. It's actually emotionally abusive. So as for how to tackle it, get out of it. It's not healthy. It's not good. If that person is unwilling to listen to you, then you need to go. End of story. So any type of abuse, cut the fucking cord and go. Not worth it. Is going on Tinder or Woo or Flu? No, it's not dangerous, but you have to keep some certain safety precautions in mind. We talked about this in the Shiro's communities last week or the week before last. So things to keep in mind. One is you need to know exactly who you're going on a date with. You need to know that person's first name. You need to know that person's last name. You need to have their contact information. The second thing is you want to go in a public place that's well lit. So if you're going on a date at night, don't decide to go on a park walk where it's dark. The third thing is make sure that your friends know that you're going and who you're going with. So you need to have a backup and you need to have a check-in. So before you go, your friends need to go who you're going with, and the date, check in with them, and then at night check in with them again. These are necessary things, but ultimately we end up with people. Okay, I'm back. All right, internet is blinking. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so everyone prefers hot people, but we all end up with who we end up with. That's just the nature of the game. And hot is different, right? Hot is not just about looks. It's also about how you present yourself, right? So sometimes the hottest woman in the room is not going to be the most beautiful. She's going to be the one that has the best energy. Or the hottest guy in the room is the one that presents himself with lots of confidence. So we also have to consider that. Okay, so next question. What are some things a girl should know about guys? Ask the guys that you're interested in. Don't ask me. Not all guys are the same, right? So the best thing that I could tell you about that you should know is needs, wants, dreams, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, what should you message to a boy you've matched on Woo? So, the good thing about a profile on Woo is that you get to know the interests of the person. There's also these questions that you can ask back and forth to really understand who a person is, right? It's not even just about the profile on Woo. It's that sometimes you get to connect with somebody because you're asking these questions back and forth a little bit better. The rule here is to go deeper, right? So You know, if I see that somebody's a Delhi Daredevils fan and they're like super into it, they have on a Delhi Daredevils shirt in their picture, I'm going to say, when's the last time you went to a game? You know, like, what do you think about the last match? I'm going to ask them questions that are really pertinent to the things that they care about. So this is a good rule of thumb, not only for woo, but also for real life, right? You can use this principle anywhere. Okay, this is an interesting question. Is a man a pervert if he instinctively looks at a woman's chest area? I'm going to say controversial answer. If the guy continuously looks at your chest, then yes, he's a pervert. If he can't speak to you in the eye, then yes, he's a pervert. You run the F away. But if a person just instinctively goes down and looks up, or if a woman instinctively looks down and goes up, it may just be that you have an attractive chest. It's about how that person acts after that, right? So one glance, not a big deal. A stare like this, that's not a good thing to deal with. So act accordingly to whatever that makes you feel like. Okay, what's the worst thing a woman can do to a man? Don't treat him like he's a human being with feelings. Expect him to be a provider and expect him to read your mind. I think the worst thing is expecting men to read your mind and anticipate what you're thinking, feeling, needing. You need to communicate that. That's super important. I think some of the biggest do as women to men is we have all these expectations that a man is going to know what we need, and they don't, because we've never communicated it. Basically, you've signed this guy up for a contract that he never signed. He never agreed to be in that contract. So you have to tell people what to expect. Okay, what to do in the first date. Okay, covered this question. I think that was 2 tools. Next question. I'm scared of being in a relationship. And after my first relationship, which didn't last,